Hello and welcome to today's presentation. My name is Joe McGivern and I am the CEO of Support IT. Let me just kick off here now and we'll get stuck in. Okay, just a bit of a story about myself and Support IT. We were set up back in 2004. We are based in both Dublin and Sligo. We are predominantly a managed service provider. We're a Microsoft Gold partner, we're a SonicWall Silver partner. We do a lot around the Microsoft Managed Work or Modern Workplace. Back in July this year, we were purchased by Action Point, which is part of the Viatel Technology Group. So this has kind of extended our capabilities into digital transformation, software development, and then obviously we've got the Viatel comms, data center, and all the kind of power that comes behind that. So then just kind of, before we get into it, I'll just give you a very kind of quick view on the extended capabilities. Sorry, when that one expands, I missed the P. So we've got private cloud, we've got cloud data storage, device managed, software development, Power BI, application development, Power Apps. If anybody doesn't know what they mean or they want more information on it, we're just in stand EO1 and EO2 if you want to discuss any of those things a bit further. So, modern threats and modern challenges. A lot of this is we're going to pull some stats from different sources, but we're also going to talk about the things as we see, as we talk to our clients. So it'll be kind of high level, but again, if you want to come over and chat to us later on, we'll go into it in more detail. Okay, so I suppose the key takeaway is the threats are changing. I'll kind of fly through this slide and then I'll kind of go a bit backwards on it as well and explain what I mean by that. Okay, so malware is up by 11%. So this is this kind of fluctuates up and down. This is taken from the SonicWall website, but I'd like, back to that, security, feed them damnation, sell them salvation. Lots of different sources will give you lots of different figures, but basically they all come back to the same thing. Intrusion attempts up 19%. This is an unusual one. They're attacking low-level risks instead of high-level risks. I'm going to guess it's a case of probably higher success, lower margin or lower return on it, but higher success. Increasing cryptojacking. The logic behind this is just cryptocurrency is going up and down, so that's affecting that's actually affecting the amount of cryptojacking going on at the moment. IoT, very standard. IoT is everywhere. It's going up by 77%. That's very, very to be expected, really. Encrypted attacks up 123%. That's a big jump, unprecedented growth. But what that actually means is just, it's come down to kind of dodgy websites, people not maintaining their websites and people getting in attacks in that way. Interesting figure here, ransomware is actually down 23%. What that kind of tells us, like governments have come in, lots of people doing a lot of work around protection against ransomware. It is working, but the threats are changing. So people are moving on to different things. So that's the kind of key takeaway from this. Just kind of throw in a bit of a section here. Just, these are the things that we're hearing from our clients. These are some of the challenges they're facing. And I'll give you a bit about how we kind of approach them. And again, we can talk about it in more detail later on if anyone wants more detail on it. Okay, so basically one of the challenges we've seen is multiple devices. I'm going to talk about the kind of hangover from COVID. It's still very much there at the moment. So, come COVID, a lot of people suddenly got laptops. They left their desktops in the office, so suddenly they've got a desktop and a laptop. They're coming back into the office now, and they don't want to carry a laptop in with them. But then what they're doing is they're carrying a PC when they're in the office and a laptop at home. So again, what that means is multiple devices. Multiple devices means more threats, more risks. So just be aware that some people think they've got 20 staff, they've only got 20 devices, but they could have 40 or double what they normally have. BYOD, again, hangover COVID. People went and started using their own devices. So you kind of manage that with two kind of policies. A policy around, I always say, like, you can save yourself a lot of money by updating your policies around your company handbook and make sure that people are using, the correct antivirus with their home PCs if they're going to go onto your network. But also from an IT perspective, you can block You can block, if a PC hasn't been updated, you can block it going onto your Office 365 or your cloud environment. So there's two kind of policies you can use to kind of manage that. Hot desking, again, people not wanting to bring their laptops in, they're sharing PCs. So again, just make sure you've got the correct password locks and just have a bit of thought on how you manage that. And then secure and non-secure environments. I'll talk a bit about that now in a second. I'll go into a bit more detail on it. Just going to mention it here. Disposing of old technology. I see there's a couple of stands around here and people are talking about this. I'm not sure if it necessarily belongs here, but it is a challenge. Again, post-COVID, people come back into the office. They've migrated all the servers to the cloud. They've got rid of all PCs. All the PCs are still there. The servers are still there. So people are trying to know what to do with them. Personally, I'd kind of take a green view on it. I've seen people go in, destroying hard disks, shredding hard disks, drilling hard disks. But I'd be of the view, you can use kind of high-level format tools like, say, Derek's Boot Nuke or something like that, and it will format the drives, say, 9, 10 times. So it means that you get to keep the disk, means they get reused. We use Recycle IT, but I also see there's lots of kind of different vendors out here that do the recycling. Again, do you want to get your managed provider, your managed service provider, to do that before they leave the building, or do you want to get a certificate of instruction? I think that really comes down to the type of business you're in and the kind of risk level. Okay, so then keeping up with new technology. Again, it's a bit of a basic one. It's, your partner needs to work with that, but again, as we get into multiple devices, people using tablets, you just need to kind of update your technology to manage the new kind of environment. That should actually say monitoring data, devices and users, to be honest. Again, go back to just managing everything, having full visibility of the new network. If people are using multiple devices, people are using their mobile phones, their tablets, whatever, just managing the whole infrastructure. Okay, so then I'm just going to go in about the zero trust, because that's I see a couple of people with headings on this today, so I'll give it a bit of a brief introduction. So zero trust really comes down to the traditional model where you'd have a load of people in an office, working away on desktops. You'd have your server room in the corner, everybody be in, you'd have it managed by a firewall. Very easy to manage. But then, even pre-COVID, things like cloud applications created multiple environments. So no, your mail server is no longer sitting in the corner. Your app server is no longer sitting in the corner. It's up in the cloud now. And suddenly that traditional model has changed. So it's brought in more environments for you. Again, like as we spoke about, advanced accessibility and data applications, people are accessing things on the move. The risk, people can access them from everywhere. So you need to make sure when people are accessing it, that they're accessing your environment securely. A kind of bit I add here is just kind of staff is busy. Everybody's short-staffed at the moment. People are in the rush. When people are in a hurry and people are under pressure, that's when they make a mistake. So just to be careful on that. Again, as we spoke about, increased sophistication on attacks. So just need to be, just need to lock everything down and just be a bit more careful on that. And just goes without saying, as I said before, the landscape is just changing rapidly. It's increasing all the time. So just to keep on top of it. But if you've got environment locked down, then hopefully you're one step ahead of the game. Okay, so then just a bit, kind of just to run through the different things you can do here. So then just from a traditional environment, you've got your PCs, you've got your server in the corner, as I spoke about. Then you've got your first layer of management. You've got your network management, your VLAN, your network access control, whatever your flavors. Again, very, very simple, very straightforward. And then you would have your firewall outside of that. What I would say, now look at kind of the next gen firewalls. Firewalls, 10 years ago weren't doing half the roles that firewalls are doing now. So you'll hear this talk about next gen firewall, whatever your flavor is there, Sonic Wall, Fortinet, Meraki's, lots of them out there. But again, look at what your firewall can do and look at the functionality you can do with it. So then, you get into, so as you said, people are on the move. People are in the hybrid workspace. So people are, working 3 days in the office, 2 days at home, or vice versa. So you've got the endpoint. The endpoint is central to everything these days. So basically, you've got your antivirus. I'll say here the basic antivirus, and what I mean by that is antivirus software can do an awful lot more than it used to. Like firewalls, your antivirus can do your DNS management, it can do your proxy management, it can monitor what people are looking at. There's all sorts of things you can do. So if you're looking at a firewall, see what additional features you can get from, if you're looking at your antivirus, see what additional features you can get from your antivirus. Office 365 backing up your cloud environment. That's debatable whether you should do it or not. But my view on that is that compliance people are looking for it. Anybody that's tried to renew their cyber insurance recently, they'll see cyber's looking for it. To me, you could argue the point where you need it or not, but I think you do need it now, so I just put it in there. So, encryption. I know this seems like a very, very basic one, but I know we've done some rollouts recently where we've kind of rolled out Modern Workplace. And again, post-COVID hangover, we're seeing people went out and bought a load of laptops from the likes of Harvey Norman and Curry's PC World. And that means they're Windows Home laptops. You can't encrypt a Windows Home laptop. People have been, syncing Dropbox, syncing OneDrive onto the local PC, and it's not encrypted. So like that, obviously that's a major, major risk for your organization. So just encrypt everything. And everything should be Windows Professional. Security awareness training, you can actually build this into your antivirus now. But again, where things are going to go wrong is generally with the user. So you need to be careful on that and just constant awareness training. There's a lot to go here, so just keep an eye on time. MDM, RMM, mobile device management, remote management. What you're doing is monitoring all devices, monitoring all the endpoints. Again, these are increasing, so you just want to keep on top of it. MDR, SOC SIEM, this is at the higher level of it, and this is where you're managing all the alerts, all the devices, but you're managing them 24/7. It's expensive, and that's why I put it many different flavors. Some people treat these sort of things as a box ticking exercise. I think it's something that you're going to see more and more of these days. So again, you can spend an awful lot of money, or you can spend just about a little bit of money, but it's always going to be expensive. So then you get into the kind of the remote working, where people are kind of working from remote as well. Conditional access. We would apply conditional access policies to a lot of our clients. What that means is that if somebody's working so say if our clients, if we could do it, we lock down their environment so they can only be accessed from the UK and Ireland. If somebody goes on holidays, we check them out of the conditional access policy. If you can imagine it, it just removes a lot of the risk from those environments because you're blocking out certain countries and just restricting it to several. So it's a good, very simple thing to do. And 2FA, multi-factor authentication, goes without saying. Everything should have multi-factor authentication out there. So just put it in there. VPN, seen less and less VPN, but the VPNs we see the people haven't reviewed them in a while. So they're looking at their VPN, but their VPN solution hasn't updated with the rest of their solutions. So you do need to keep an eye on this and maybe just do a review it every so often. Compliance management, again, I know Office 365 do it, but I know Google do it, but we're actually a gold partner, so we know more about the Microsoft side of things. But you can lock down your Office 365 environment by using the compliance manager. These are enterprise-grade tools that come free with your Office 365. So apply these to your organization. Again, monitoring alerts, back to kind of SOC SIEM, MDR. Basically, make sure, does your company need these to be monitored 8x5 or 24/7? And don't assume that they are being managed 24/7. Again, just a bit of view here now. Again, just keeping an eye on time here. So the things you can't control, public Wi-Fi, somewhere like this. Again, come back to staff training. Make sure your staff know to be careful on public Wi-Fi. Storage locations. Again, you can block people to use the USB, but we still see horror stories. And they get one client where they were taking a copy of the payroll every day on an unencrypted USB stick and bringing it home in the evening on a bus. So you just need to kind of be careful about these. Bit of review on how people are operating. Personal devices, again, we spoke about it. Just managing those devices and just make sure you know, that people are, you know, if they are using them for work, that gives them a bit of respect and not using kind of, you know, illegal websites and things like that. Physical theft, if it's encrypted, isn't a problem, but just have everything encrypted and this does not become a problem. And then just lazy practices. We would always, you know, if we take on a client, we'll always review what people are doing and how they interact with IT. So you need to be very careful on this as well. Just look at it, especially with the kind of the hybrid and people have kind of changed the way they work. Review your work practices there. So then just a really kind of quick wrap up, just a bit about the approach. If we take on a client, the way we do it is we get to know the client, we get to know the business. Definitely, you know, our client ranges from, you know, maybe 10 up to, I think it's about 450 user sites. So, you know, and everything in between. So one size doesn't fit all. People have different budgets, so get to know the clients. Simplify. Again, I put this in that, like, we took over a site there last year, and the previous company, IT, the client spent an awful lot of money with the previous IT company. They'd made a very, very complex network. Then when we started unraveling it, taking it over, found there's gaping holes in the network that you just wouldn't have seen because it was too complicated. So keep it simple. 3-year strategy, always have a strategy so there's no kind of spend shock. You know where you're going with your IT. Blend of users. And what I kind of mean by that is kind of some, like in Microsoft Modern Workplace environment, some people use kind of VDI, some people use SharePoint. Basically depends on the use. Some people come in through bus, some people cycle in. So again, just don't try and kind of force people, you know, people to use one particular type of way. Manage your data, try and bring everything in again, whether you're using Google or Microsoft, whatever, try not to have Dropbox accounts or Box accounts, bring it all together, keep it in one location. It means you do audit trail around a single location, makes it a bit easier to manage. Endpoint management, again, monitor all those endpoints that people are accessing your data on. Lockdown, okay, you know, you get if you're not unsure of your environment, you know, take control of your environment, lock down your environment. Once you have your environment locked down, control it. And so if any changes, you know that they're being made, and then you monitor that environment and you always have an audit trail. So if people make changes or if people are changing things, you know who changed it and you know who's accessing what around the network. Efficiency, productivity, always make the IT system work for you. Don't make it too complex again, because you'll lose the faith of your staff. User training, again, just goes without saying. So again, I think I'm just about on time here. So yeah, my name's Joe McGivern, CEO of Support IT, Jay McGivern at Support IT, or over at the Action Point Viatel stand on EO1 and EO2, just across the way there. Drop over, you get the, keep on getting this wrong where I say you win a Ferrari, but sorry, you just win a chance to drive a Ferrari. As I say, we're over at the stand 1 or 2, E1 and EO2 there. So thank you.